See if I've got it here. Oh, this one. Hey everyone. If you're watching this later, I may have already started recording when other people joined. We'll be starting in 4 minutes. Until then, enjoy this song I created using AI.
Morning sun on palm-lined streets bright and clear. Solterra resort its magic year after year. Karen tends the gardens, lights that softly glow. Trash and decorations ready for our guests to know. We're cared for every smile we share. Homeowners and travelers feel the love in the air. Solterra, you're shining home away from home. Deborah keeps amenities so our hearts can roam.
Debbie,
Pools and lazy rivers, cafes, warm embrace, clubhouse laughs and fitness beats, community in place. Brian balances budgets with a visionary gaze. Legal marketing, town halls, brighten future days. Bobby watches safety at the gate and on the grounds. Rovers park and shade meetings keep us safe and sound. Sam fuels our tech, website POS efficiency. CDD and Spectrum humming seamless harmony. Joe leads with open arms, our general manager's grace. We love our homeowners and every smiling face. Short-term guests, please stay and leave us 5-star love. Return again and again to this place we're proud of. Solterra Resort, you carry dreams upon your shore. We'll be here, welcome, and always, always more.
Song of the year right there. Solterra Resort. All right. Joe, do you know if Brian sent out an email to all the homeowners? Or is this posted in the homeowners group at all?
I do not believe. I haven't checked with Geo, but I don't believe they sent a notice out. Let me message on.
Yeah, I know Brian's out. Well, if not, then we just need to make sure we follow up with that to be like, hey, let's do that every time so people know.
Yeah.
If not, especially after it's recorded, that's when I would want to just make sure we get the recording out to the homeowners, either in an email or something that says, here's what we talked about. You can watch it whenever you want. So if we didn't get one before, let's definitely get one after when we have the recording.
Okay.
All right. There are more people. I only see 3 here.
I only see 3 as well. No, 4 now.
There we go. 4. Bobby jumped in. Bobby missed the Solterra song. Bobby, you're famous. You were in the Solterra song.
How am I famous?
No, you have to watch the replay. I played the Solterra song. It's a new pop sensation. Gonna take down K-pop demon hunters.
I'll have to watch that after the meeting.
Yeah, you have to watch it afterwards. All right. Well, this may be a quick one. This is great. Well, we'll see. People still show up. All right, 6 p.m. guys. We'd love to get started. Thank you for joining the Solterra Town Hall. We've got limited time, so we like to use it efficiently. Quick overview on this meeting. This is just a town hall where all the board members can get together, talk about ideas, give updates, go from there. In addition to that, no final decisions are being made today. We only kind of talk about things. They're generally proposals are put together, and then we vote on them during the official Solterra CDD meetings that happen in the clubhouse. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I would love for this time, if it's possible, to get a quick update from Joe. There were some comments after the last meeting where people are like, hey, how is this happening? And what's going on in here and there? And I was like, guys, I want the community to remember Joe is our go-to guy. If you have a thought or a suggestion or something that needs to get done, just email Joe. That's what he's there for. We pay him to be like, got it, handle. This is on its way. So, Joe, if you could give a quick update on, maybe some of the top things you've been working on or that things are in progress, Just real quick, doesn't need to be a long list, but just some of the things so that we can make sure the community knows what you're up to and what's going on.
Yeah, sure. I think thus far our primary focus had been working with Supervisor Bassard, obviously, to get a lot of the new security ideas in place, whether it be the tech itself. Last week we finally got the WAPs installed, so the access points up at the front gate. We were able to test having strong signal strength out to the road and into the road. So we've kind of dealt with that issue, which was the dead spots. We RMA'd the tablet that had cost the CDD so much. We had RMA'd that, sent it back in. It is en route. We have a brand new one back en route at no cost to the CDD. So we'll be able to kind of throw that into the gear lineup. We'll be presenting some stuff coming up this upcoming CDD meeting, which will be about basically, building out the IT and kind of Wi-Fi infrastructure of the clubhouse to try to fix all of that. Take care of all the dead spots out on the deck and really kind of get the Wi-Fi doing what it needs to do, as well as Stay-Fi, which is kind of the big focus in terms of kind of guest information, guest retention, so that we can do that. We're still working on, excuse me, I think a lot of what we're working on, the questions I get from the community mainly are there's interest in the monthly newsletter, which was previously weekly. And again, we are still working on that, but again, a lot of changes have happened. So, we don't really, just like the pamphlets, we don't want to introduce the brand new pamphlet and then change the QR code for the cafe when that happens. So most of what we've been doing is kind of tech focused, in terms of getting that going, also developing some SOPs with the staff. And then obviously, as of the last CDD meeting, our focus shifted very heavily towards cafe and trying to kind of work and getting that, that vision kind of off the ground. So that's really what we've been focused on.
I love it. And to quickly touch on that with kind of cafe updates, we are in the process of getting our liquor license and our food license. There was a short time frame, so we did talk with Real Manage and ask them if they would be willing to stay on up until December on a month-to-month basis while we figure out that transition. They did agree. And so we're in that time frame right now where we still can use them and have them oversee, make sure that everything is good up until the point when we get the new licenses in place, make sure we're good to make the official transition, and then we'll pick a date and implement at that point. So it does look like we were worried there for a minute that it wouldn't be a smooth transition. It does look like all the pieces have fallen into place, and they're going to be there. So it's great. Cool. Thank you so much. While we're talking, if anyone has questions, please just raise your hand on the thing, or you can leave a chat in the comments and say, here's my question. I'll try to address them as we go through. Bobby, do you have any updates in regards to the front gate and security?
So right now, the front gate's really slowed down. We're not seeing a ton of traffic that we were seeing. Our numbers, during the slow season, I'm sorry if it's loud in the background. I'm actually at Chef Mickey's right now at the Contemporary. The numbers are really down. We're seeing about 350 cars maximum during the hour, which is a mix of homeowners and white passes coming in. So we're not seeing as much traffic. We were about 600 to 700 cars per hour during the busy time. So right now, our security staff's just processing people as they should. We're having a little computer trouble right now that we're working with Proptia to resolve with the plate reading and all that stuff. So we are moving forward with that. But as far as any other updates, we don't really have much going on. We're just building out what we have and focus on training and processing people effectively.
That's great. Did the wireless access points, will that help quite a bit now that those are installed?
Yeah, so the wireless access points will give us actual, coverage outside of the gatehouse. Without those access points, we can only literally be in the gatehouse to print pass. Now we can actually utilize that tablet and the other computer and go all the way out to the street and actually stop processing cards. So when it's really busy and we have 3 staff members, we can actually process cards more effectively and faster.
That's great. Perfect. I love it. Fantastic. Yeah, is there anything else that's on the horizon to help kind of cars speed through with security? Or I mean, I know at the last meeting, Graham was like, getting cars through faster, getting through cars through, that was his number one priority. Is there anything else that's in the pipeline, or have we kind of gotten to the end of the technology solutions that we're looking to implement?
I mean, that's an ongoing thing that I work with Joe on as far as ideas and moving forward with that. A lot of it's actually scheduling with Joe for staffing and stuff to facilitate us moving some check-ins to the clubhouse. So right now, their staffing is lower due to the slow time. Joe's, taking measures to save us a little money and cut that staffing down at the clubhouse. So right now, we're just trying to, move forward with what we have. We're not seeing any delays at the gate at the moment. Obviously, busy time, November, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We'll evaluate that with Joe, see if maybe we can add check-ins till 10 at the clubhouse and add one more security officer at the gate to process those check-ins a little faster.
Perfect. Okay, great. Great. Anything else?
No, that's it for me today.
Awesome. Sounds great. Cool. We've got Karen. Any questions for Bobby in regards to parking or front gate or anything? Feel free to throw them in the chat or raise your hand. Next up, we've got Karen. Do you have any updates on landscaping and grounds?
Not really. We have the only thing, in case anybody didn't make the meeting, sorry, I've kind of lost my voice here, is that we have a do not exceed or not to exceed approvals on plant matter to fill those pots, and different people at Yellowstone were on vacation and that kind of thing. But and because of my conferences, I'm out of town right now. The conferences that I've been attending, I haven't been able to get on a call with them. So on, I believe it's on the 19th, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? That that I've got a conference call set up with them with Yellowstone to review the various plant matter types and everything else to use for those pots. And we're cognizant of the not to exceed. That's about it. Still working on some other alternatives for the ponds where we've got some erosion going on, and the unsightly neighbors on the other side of the oak-borne ponds, and things that we can do to protect from erosion, and also things that are not going to require us so much for irrigation or anything like that. We want to try to keep that down to a minimum too, while also while taking care of our problems. So in the most cost-effective way possible.
It's great.
Sorry about that.
No worries at all. Can I jump? I'm going to say a little bit more for anyone that isn't, doesn't follow every CDD meeting, which is totally fine. Karen had a whole bunch of proposals that went in at the last meeting that were resolving a lot of landscaping issues, and every single one that was proposed that went from the front gate down to the amenity center was approved. We're still under budget for the year for landscaping and landscaping services, and even after everything was approved, we still have funds left over, which is great. So there is a lot that will be happening or coming into play from the front gate going back. When you drive in, I know you can see directly into some of the houses because there's areas that don't have shrubs. All of those will be resolved. Funds have been approved, and it's just a matter of time. So I just want to say thank you, Karen, for putting those all in, because there was a lot, and I know there was a lot of time that went into figuring out every single issue that was there and getting proposals to solve those. So that was great.
I do want to just say, for anybody who wasn't, I know there aren't a lot of people who are attending right now, but there will be a recording, so people will hear. And thank you so much, Brian, for this. I do want to let people know, the vision for the long term. The least expensive way to enhance property value is through landscaping. I mean, you hear it everywhere. Everybody who knows anything about real estate knows that, curb appeal is everything. So I do have some long range visions of things that I want to do for the beautification of the community, which will enhance our property values and in the most cost effective way. And that includes taking a lot of our extra pieces of land that are just kind of sitting there becoming big, I call them sand pits, using them for things like dog parks or just parks. We've got a lot of, like in the Misty Oak traffic circle there, and little traffic circles and places. They're really ideal opportunities to put very inexpensive but stable and properly installed um, park benches with some trees around them for some shade and that kind of thing, a little bit of landscaping, I think will go a long way. That's, of course, not the first thing on the list, but they are certainly things that we are looking towards. Things that are just going to help everybody in the community and make it look good. That's it.
Okay, beautiful. Luis had a question.
Hi. I think it'd be really nice to have some benches around the pond areas so that people can actually sit and enjoy. We're spending all this money on making sure that the ponds are nice and we've got the company making sure there's not rubbish, etc. Would it be nice to get some benches there so people can sit and enjoy looking at the wildlife, etc.?
100%. Absolutely. It would be beautiful. And another part of this that we're also looking at is the around oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
Benches,
Putting
ponds. Yeah.
benches, ponds, of course, the signage that that we have requested. I think that wherever we have those benches, we would have to have signage reminding people not to feed or engage with the alligators. That's a concern. Also, I believe that there was an issue with Yellowstone mowing right over the gopher tortoise sections or something like that. So Joe Bullens, I let him know about it, and he jumped right on it and got right in touch with them and making sure that that does not happen again. Um, uh, yep. I'm sorry. I'm just a little under the weather here, guys.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem. Thank you for sharing an update. Do we need signs for where the turtles are at? To be like, hey, protected area, don't mow here or leave the turtles alone?
Yeah, so there are actually protocols for that. Joe, do you have those? Do you have examples of what we're supposed to do for that so that they're aware? I mean, it's just really, from what I've seen, just sticks with, strings attached and little signs that say go for tortoise or a little, but has Yellowstone been implementing that?
Yeah, so I actually got in touch with both Dora and Yellowstone when this was first mentioned, which is why it was more of an issue that they kind of bowled over it. But yeah, we got in contact with them, and we also spoke with Florida Wildlife. And while it's been a number of weeks and we have returned their calls a number of times, we're still waiting on Florida Wildlife to come out because they'd like to mark the area with which, like you said, is really little more than just kind of some some sticks and caution tape, basically to identify the locations and say where they are. But they did provide those protocols to both landscapers. And obviously, in speaking with Yellowstone, they were very apologetic, but I guess they just, they missed the mark on it. Because I know Peter and Vicky had been pretty vocal with the crew about it and being, careful in that area. And then it was just kind of a misstep. So, they're going to be working, we did contact Florida Wildlife to let them know that this happened. Just to kind of keep
Yes,
them on the
thank you.
radar and also to get them out faster. So.
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate
Mhm.
it.
It's great.
Um,
Cool.
And yeah, so the other thing that we had discussed in the meeting that, people won't necessarily know about, but we're looking into getting bat boxes to mitigate mosquitoes. And because they eat tens of thousands of mosquitoes, it's such a great thing. And also getting some algae eating fish for some of our ponds to help mitigate that issue. Um, Things like that, I wonder if having those little and Joe, maybe you know how much these things cost, but also came to mind for both beautification as well as mitigating the mosquito issue is having those fountains, those that basically are their pumps that just recirculate the water and it looks like a beautiful fountain. Could be a nice thing too.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly speak with your aquatics manager on it. I know I've spoken with Steadfast in the past about, aquatic water features and stuff to assist with that. They're pricey, so they are pricey.
Are they?
They are effective. I mean, they're effective, but they are pricey. So, but I mean, there's certainly other mitigative steps that we could take in concert with that. But we can, certainly go to him and kind of get, you know, multiple approaches to say, hey, in some of the larger bodies of water, what's doable versus, what are some other methods that they would employ. But I mean, I've done them here in North Carolina. I'm very familiar with them.
Okay. And for people who aren't aware, we did approve the pine, the pine needle mulching instead of that dark bark that we've been using. It's half the price, and it, in my opinion, it's much more elegant looking. You see it in golf course communities. Bay Hill uses it. Um, Keens Point uses it. So there are a lot of really high-end communities that are using the pine needles as opposed to the bark. So the pine bark being the most expensive, which we moved away from a few years ago because it also floats away. Our money floating away with the pine bark.
That
So,
I want that to happen. All right. Well, great. Thank you, Karen. Fantastic update.
okay.
I love what you've been doing and your thoughts, especially in the meeting. It's well thought out. You've put together some fantastic proposals, and I think everyone on this call will be excited about what will happen in terms of landscaping moving forward. The budget is being used in the most efficient way I think possible in regards to what do we do that's the most important that would bring the most value from a landscaping standpoint first, second, third, fourth, and we're going down the list. So we're in a great place, and thank you for all the work you put in. I don't
Thank you.
think Sam is here. I don't see Sam, and I don't see Debbie. So I'll do a couple of updates real quick. If they jump in, I'll call on them. A couple things, cell towers. Luis, sorry, go for it.
Hi, I was just wondering whether there were any plans to have any kind of meetup over the Christmas period, as lots of owners are going to be around over that period, whether there was some kind of meetup we could have at the clubhouse just to get to know your neighbours, etc.
Debbie would probably know more, and she's not here today. Joe, is there anything on the calendar in regards to that, or could we maybe connect with Debbie and start to get something like that locked down?
Yeah, I can get with her. So yeah, they normally do it like a quarterly. So we were planning something for October, but I do think it would be nice to kind of turn around and do something in December since it does kind of get, a little quiet. But then again, a lot of the owners are here. So I can definitely get with her and see what funds are available, and then kind of see how the new cafe's rolling and see what we can do.
That's right. I do know Debbie had been working on vouchers for every homeowner for cabana rentals, where they'd be able to come and have access once or I think twice a year, every 6 months of a cabana rental that you can come use it whenever you want, or maybe during off-season times when they aren't, taken up in full. But that's something that we would offer to homeowners. Now that we own the cafe, I was talking with Denise today. I met with her. If anyone hasn't met Denise, she's, and correct me if I'm right, Joe, she's the current cafe manager under Real Manage, but she has been hired to continue it on moving forward for Artemis and Solterra. Is that correct?
No, so we haven't hired anybody yet. We have interviewed everybody from the existing staff, but so we've hired on an F&B manager. That's Greg Rollins, but
Okay.
She's currently the interim manager at present.
Got it. Okay, cool. So the interim manager, and then whoever Artemis hires would be the full-time manager at that point in time. But I think there's a lot of opportunities now. And there's been a lot of ideas floated around that have been in conversations, all of which I think are great. Some of them included, if you get a cabana rental, if you're paying X number of dollars for it, half the value of that goes into food credits, where people are ordering more food, or they're providing every cabana rental with some like chips and salsa, or something that comes right with it, with waters or things that are immediately delivered out there, which is great. I think there's going to be proposals at the next meeting for the ability to possibly upgrade our POS system so that we can do mobile orders. And once that happens, we're working towards the ability for homeowners to be able to order from their home, and eventually we will have deliveries to the houses anywhere on there on Solterra property. So I think when we were talking today, we were like, it'd probably be great to start with pizzas and start doing pizza deliveries quick and fast. We can get them out to you faster than Domino's or Papa John's, which was exciting. There's a couple steps that need to happen before that goes into place, but I think all the groundwork is being laid for that, which is exciting that'll happen. So yeah, anyway, if you guys have ideas, I know Devin, I was talking with Denise today and she was talking about the menu, and I was like, oh, you got to talk to Devin. She had done a mock-up for a new menu. Definitely connect there, and I'd love to get those things, the people who are really dialed into that, talking to each other to be like, what would be a fantastic menu based on what the community needs are, and getting that done. Let's see what else. Other big things, man, I stumbled across, at the last meeting, we were voting on a new gym floor, and I think it got tabled for a month because we were talking about doing tiles versus rubber mats. I have an alert on OfferUp for gym equipment just to see what's going on in the area. And I happened to see it right as it went live. In Champions Gate, they have a gym about twice the size of ours. They are selling the entire gym, all the equipment, assembled and brand new, because they voted to turn that area into an office. It was like a second gym, and they're like, our other gym is good enough. We want to use this as an office for our HOA. And so they are selling all the gym equipment, and it is brand new. And they're like, we'll sell it at 50% off just to get rid of it. And I'm working with Joe to figure out space and what we could. There's no way we could fit everything they have in there, but man, I went over and checked it out, and it looked like a brand new Equinox type level gym equipment. It was nice. And so we're working through that. We'd have to get the flooring done. We'd have to remove the stuff that we have. But there is potential there that if things work out, we could have a proposal in and could potentially have a completely new gym with brand new equipment everywhere. New treadmills, new ellipticals, new bicycles with screens on it where there's a trainer or you get to ride down the road. We could pick and choose, and they were very adamant about how do we get rid of this equipment. And when I talked to the people, they were saying, we get a lot of a person wants this one thing and they're trying to lowball us. And I was like, would you entertain an offer if we could take a majority of it, like 50 to 60 to 70% of the and she was like, I would love that. So I think what we're going to do is figure out what space we have. We'll figure out the budgets that would entail. We can vote on it, and we could probably figure out if we could, to some extent, lowball them more and say we would take it, but we would want to pay this amount. And I have a feeling they would probably accept it to just get rid of it because they can't use the office because it's full of all this equipment. I have some photos of it. I don't know how to email it to you guys, but maybe if I can pull them up at this meeting, I don't know if I can share my screen. Maybe let me see if I can find it while we're talking, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. But man, it was nice. The other thing I say, cell phone towers still in progress. It is moving forward slowly. It looks like we're gonna partner with a company. They'll pay us a flat rate every month to lease the land behind the 7-Eleven station. A cell phone tower would go in. It's probably a year and a half to 2 years out from actually being completed and done. But we are moving that forward slowly. So that is something that's in the pipeline so that hopefully all of Solterra would have beautiful 5-bar service everywhere on the property. And the last up's the budget. The budget just came out. I got it, 2 days before this, and this was something that was brought to my attention. I don't know if a lot of people know this. You might have started to see your pre-tax bill and what they say, what will come. We had the ability to vote to keep it the same or lower it. We voted to make it a little bit higher. And I know that that's not a popular standpoint, but I wanted to explain why and what it means for us is because we were taking over the cafe, there were a little bit of unknowns in regards to we are now responsible for buying the food, the alcohol, the drinks, everything that now would potentially come out of what we're doing. But it does mean that there can be, with the arrangement with Artemis, that, that as revenue comes through, that also can be applied to other areas, things we want to build, things we want to do. And so that's exciting that was never something that we had before. And so while we had the ability to vote to say, let's bring it down and do that, it would have meant that if we misjudged in one area or something else, we could have potentially hit a cap. And so the board voted to just hold the budget right around where it was. I think it was a little bit higher, which isn't, exciting. I'm not excited about an increase again. But it does put us in a good position to make sure the cafe is there. And if we can get it profitable, when we get it profitable over the next year, I think it puts us in a fantastic position in regards to building of new amenity areas or assets or things, or at least expanding it into other areas that could allow us to reduce our cost or pay off the bonds earlier. Or make additional payments towards the bonds that would kind of work their way down. So I know there was a homeowner that approached me. He was like, I'm really upset that the price is increasing. And I said, I actually agree with you. But I do think, man, if you guys can just hold with us, I think within 12 months, it'll be not a completely different Solterra, but I think we'll be in a fantastic place where landscaping is beautiful and amenities are humming and we have new amenities built and the cafe is fantastic and we're doing food deliveries and cars are getting processed faster. And ultimately, I think everything we want to do is towards increasing rental rates in our community. And I think we're moving towards that to be able to make that move forward. But on the budget, back to this, we are under budget for the year. So for the year that's ending right now, so we had allocated a set amount of budget. The taxes went out, or the things from the government, people paid it. We had a set amount. We budgeted for that amount, and we are under budget, which means we will have a little bit left over before we get to this next year as we go. So the leftover combined with having a little wiggle room will give us the ability, once we get the cafe lined up and some other areas, to be able to look and sit down and really start discussing what are some of these other projects, and we might be able to move forward with quite a few of them much sooner than anticipated, and get us in a better place while we continue to possibly generate more money from the cafe. So from my standpoint, I think it's very exciting that what can happen. I think, Solterra, the amenity center was kind of built and that was it. We might have the ability to add more to them. We might have the ability to clean up or take extra care. I know some of the pool resurfacing was one of them. The hot tub was another one that we wanted to do some updates to. Those things might all be able to be done a lot sooner than later based on kind of where things are at financially. So I have it here real quick. If you guys don't mind, let me run down it. Let's see. Total finance and administration fees, we were under budget for the year. Legal counsel was over budget. We did have a lot of change ups with our vendors this year, which is why that happened. It wasn't over budget by, I mean, it's $70,000, but it wasn't some huge crazy amount. And we were using them a lot as we changed all these contracts and redid a lot of stuff. Security is under budget by $85,000 for the year. Electric and utility is under budget. Gas is under budget. Garbage, solid waste is under budget. Some of that was transferred to another line item, which is waste and sewer combination services. That is over budget. So they kind of equal out. The physical environment, anything in regards to landscaping is under budget. Total parks and recreation, everything that goes into amenity services under budget. And just overall expenses were under budget by around $500,000, a little bit above $500,000. So that will be able to roll over into next year's budget that allows us to work with it and operate and get the things done around Solterra that we need to do that will make it better. So I think there's any questions. Is there anyone on the call that has any questions or anything to say, any comments? Nice. Okay.
This might be a record fast town hall.
Yeah, I know. This is great. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was big updates. I had a list here of things I wanted to make sure I talk about. Budget, gym, cafe, Denise, cell towers.
I did have one thing on the budget. So we
go for it.
currently the main services cleaning company. So that's saving us in total $85,000 that's budgeted for the year. And we already had 40 grand budget in the maintenance budget for a housekeeper. So we now have a gentleman cleaning the clubhouse 5 days a week. I think he works 12 to 7 or something like that. So we cleaned 5 days a week at the clubhouse. I was up there twice so far. It smells great. It's clean. He's very polite and respectable. I talked to him briefly. So I think you will see an increase in the cleanliness of the clubhouse going forward also. And it was something already budgeted for. And we're saving 85 grand to an outsourced company that we're no longer paying.
That's great. That's fantastic. Any other thoughts from anyone in the community? Want to say regarding the CDD board? No?
I just got on the call, guys. It's Debbie.
Ah, Debbie. All right. You made it right before the end. Debbie, any updates on your end from amenities?
Not too much. I think everybody knows that we received the ceramic planters and they're absolutely beautiful. I think that the plants got approved. As far as I know, you guys could probably speak to that better than me. I was not present for the entirety of the last meeting. But I'm excited for those to get put into place. And, as we move towards the cafe transition, I'm looking forward to working with Greg, the new manager up there, and just lots of exciting stuff come.
Right. Right. Cool. Any questions about amenities for anyone on the call for Debbie?
Did we want to bring it up to her, Louise's idea of having our community get together around Christmas?
Is that someone for us, or is that someone? There you go.
That's for Debbie.
I think that was Karen, but her voice sounds
Are
like
we-
it's kind of dying out.
Yeah, it sounds really distant. Are you talking about, like a homeowner event at the clubhouse? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, around Christmas time, Louise brought that up as a thought because some of the homeowners will be in the community at the time.
I think it might be worthwhile to maybe put a poll in the homeowners group to kind of gauge how many people will be on site, and then maybe we can look at that. I know that Joe and I have been talking about the next one potentially in October because that tends to be a slower time, and we don't have as many guests, so we tend to have more homeowners visiting their properties for maintenance and upkeep. But we could definitely
I don't
explore.
think it needs to be. Sorry, Debbie. I don't think it needs to be something that necessarily costs
Go ahead.
the
Go
CDD
ahead.
money. Just a case of, hey, here's a day. If homeowners would like to come along and get together, doesn't necessarily need to be anything that costs money. Just an informal, owners are going to be here. Feel free to come along and have a chat, rather than an event as such. I just think that more homeowners would be around during the Christmas period than they would during October period, even though obviously it's a slower month, for rentals, etc. I just think from a homeowner point of view, more would be around during the Christmas time.
Yeah, and that's quite possible. I think maybe we could put a poll in the WhatsApp chat and kind of gauge how many people might be here. And it's kind of interesting that you bring this up before the holidays, because I was actually thinking that it would be really fun to maybe like do a cookie exchange with homeowners right before Christmas, maybe up at the clubhouse, and maybe do a hot chocolate bar or something in December and some kid crafts. I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
I was looking at the budget, Joe, and we're a bit under, so I think we could make that happen.
I think previously we had set a $250 budget per event, and we were supposed to do one every quarter, and I don't think we've done one in the previous quarter at all.
Yeah, so I actually have a meeting with Joe next week, so maybe he and I can kind of talk about what that would look like and throw out some options for something during the holiday period, and kind of see what everyone thinks.
Nice. There was Debbie, there was an idea that Joe and I were tossing around, and this happened after the fence fell over, and the community that's our neighbor to the northeast.
Yeah, the fence fell.
Yeah,
Sunrise Wood.
That's right. So the HOA person wrote an email and was like, "You guys got to do this," and I was like, "Hey, how about you just come over and let's meet? We'll talk about it." And so
I remember that.
I invited her over, and she's like, "This place is amazing. Your pool is so." And I was like, "Well, do you guys have a pool area?" She's like, "We don't." So that's where Joe and I started talking, and what we want is more 5-star reviews and more revenue for the cafe. We were looking at if we could possibly invite people from the neighborhoods next to us to maybe come over for a day or a night or a time when it is low volume. To say,
kind of
hey,
like a resort for a day thing.
Like a resort for the day. Come on over.
Neighboring.
Yes, making some friends with our neighbors. And what we do is we say, look,
goodwill.
Hey, food and drink are there. You guys can order what you want. And all we'd ask is if you had a good time, please leave a 5-star review for us on Google. and seeing if we couldn't set that up with a couple of the communities around us to be like, come hang out at a pool and go play in the lazy river and, you know, enjoy the amenities that we have when they're not necessarily full. That's something that would, you know, go to you for probably approval and working with you and Joe. But I think there's some upside in that we could attract revenue and we could possibly get 5-star reviews from that if we offered it up. We'd have to figure out parking and some other issues, but I think there's a possibility there if we
Yeah,
wanted to move forward with that.
That's definitely interesting, and I think definitely worth looking into. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm not opposed.
I would say this too for anyone on the call. You know, Debbie is working with the cafe, and one of the things in place is the menu in regards to what we want to do. If anyone watching this has ideas on what we could do or what we should serve or what we could serve or what you've seen served at other places that people love, that we could potentially do here that would make our cafe, you know, that A+ experience, please share that with Debbie or share that with Joe. Let them know. We can start to tally those comments and figure out what is it that we want to provide. Do we want to keep everything the same? Do we want to try something new? And I think those are things that you'd want to get in sooner than later as we're starting to lay the groundwork for what would be there and what equipment we might need, and go from there. So
Definitely. And, you know, some of the comments that have come to me already are requests for some healthier food options, some options that are not fried, which a lot of the food tends to be. Also, for people that don't want to place an order and wait for it, some grab and go types of things like some pre-made sandwiches or salads that you can just literally grab and go, with the potential of being able to offer some of that on the lazy riverside that's a little bit more of a walk to the cafe. So those are just a couple of things that come to my mind since I kind of was unprepared for the meeting.
that's great. And if you guys have ideas for what we should make for drinks or drink names that would make it unique to Solterra, those type of things, I think everything is coming together for that. If you have any ideas, get them over to Debbie and Joe.
I think salad boxes would be a great idea and grab and go, because people then can come and get them even if they're in the villa and they're having a pool day at the villa. They can,
Yeah,
you
take
know,
them
or going to
home.
the parks. You know, they can call at the cafe on the way to the parks. You know, they don't want to stop at Publix or Subway. They can grab, you know, a salad box or something like that to take to the parks with them. I think that'd be a fantastic, yeah, a fantastic revenue stream for the cafe.
Yeah, and we've also, you know, discussed some ideas, or I have discussed some ideas with some of the homeowners about like doing a breakfast box that they can pick up and take back that is, you know, kind of the likes of a continental breakfast with some fruit, you know, or, you know, even offering, you know, breakfast sandwiches and fare at the cafe for people that are up there early, because I know there's some families that, you know, want to enjoy the amenities and they get there early before it gets busy and the cafe's not open till 11, and there's just so many opportunities.
Yeah. Great. Any other comments? Homeowners? All right. Well, I mean, I think that's it for today's meeting. I want to thank everyone for coming. Sam is not here, right? Just want to double check. I don't see him. Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you guys for showing up. Again, if you have comments or suggestions, you're always welcome to email your board
Everyone
members.
have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Brian, once again, thank you for hosting.
Becky says hi.
All right. Here we go.
Thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Bye, guys.
everyone.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Morning
Good
sun
night.
on Palm Line streets bright and clear. Solterra Resort, its magic year after year. Karen tends the
Oh.
gardens, lights that softly glow. Trash and decorations ready for our guests to know.
Beautiful.
Care
Nice
for every
touch.
smile we share. Homeowners and travelers feel the love in the air.
You just gotta add drinking blue moons by the
Solterra,
pool.
you
And it'll
are
be good.
shining home away from home. Deborah keeps amenities so our hearts can roam.
Debbie.
Pools and lazy rivers, cafes, warm embrace, clubhouse laughs and fitness beats, community in place. Brian balances budgets with a visionary gaze. Legal marketing.
Here we go, Bobby. This is you.
Future days. Bobby watches safety at the gate and on the grounds. Rovers park and shade meetings keep us safe and sound. Sam fuels our tech, website POS efficiency, CDD and Spectrum humming seamless harmony. Joe leads with open arms, our general manager's grace. We love our homeowners and every smiling face. Short-term guests, please stay and leave us 5-star love. Return again and again to this place we're proud of. Solterra Resort, you carry dreams upon your shore. We'll be here, welcome and always, always more.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Wow.
Everyone.
The
We'll
amazing
see you
things AI can do.
That's right. We'll see you
Wow.
at the next meeting. Bye.
That was awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.